Hello, morning everyone. My name is Ryan Davies. I'm head of CRM, Loyalty and Insight, as Alex said. I'm very greedy with the job titles, by the way, which means basically I'm responsible for the collection of customer data, how we use it to understand our customers better, and then how we use it to hold on to them for longer and actually get the most lifetime value out of our customers across both brands. Mothercare itself has been around since 1961, and for those of you guys who don't know, is a specialist retailer of products for mothers to be, babies and toddlers, up to about 8 years of age. But our main specialism is the pre-birth months and children up to the age of 2. We also acquired Early Learning Centre in 2007, which manufactures, sells educational toys for children as well up to the age of 8, which is great. So we're there helping customers through one of the most important life-changing things that happens, having children. But we've not had it all our own way. We're a retailer. We've got 200 stores in the UK, about 1,500 stores worldwide. But we did one of the original ones there, 1961. But we haven't had it all our own way. We've got other specialist retailers like Kiddie Care, Mamas and Papas coming along. Babies R Us. We also have supermarkets squeezing us from the other side, and you've got Amazon squeezing you from everywhere else. We don't have it all our own way anymore. So if I was going to sum Mothercare and ELC up in 3 words, I would use the words babies, bricks, and boring. So I always use this. I always use this at the start of presentations when I kind of sum it up. And babies, clearly it is. Bricks, traditional bricks and mortar retailer. And boring, traditional is what that means. And no one has ever been able to give me another word that begins with B that means traditional. So that's your challenge for today. If you can find one, then give me that and I will change it so it fits instead. So babies, bricks, and boring. That's Mothercare. I'm none of those things. I don't have any children, and as you can see from it, I thought this is appropriate. I was asked to look after a child, and this is what I thought it was cool to do, to take a photo when the parents were around the corner. So the Mothercare didn't hire me because of my parenting skills. Bricks, I've never worked in a shop before. I've never even had a Saturday job in a shop before. This is my first job client side, let alone at a retailer. So this is not a great start, actually. And then the traditional bit, actually what I did do, it was, I spent many years at a marketing agency. I was a digital consultant, and actually my job there was about connecting the dots between data, systems, planning, and creative to actually put all these things together to build better customer experiences. So this is what I've been doing at Mothercare for the last 3 years. And that's what we're going to talk to you about today. So one of the first things I did when I joined was actually what is there in the data that tells us what our customer patterns look like. And this, when I show this to people, looks fairly terrifying, but actually it's really good because there's some really, really clear patterns here. So what we've got is, at this end of the scale, this is your life stage. So -9 means you've just got pregnant. And then the first line is your birth and first birthday. And this goes all the way up to 6. And each of these squiggly lines is a different product category. So we can see over here that there's some big peaks and stuff just before you give birth. There's some really, really clear patterns that are going on as you develop through the parenting. And actually, for us, unlike other retailers, it's a really linear path as well. One of the previous retailers I used to work for an agency was Dixon's. And if you buy a TV from Dixon's, I don't know when you're going to need a laptop or a phone or an iPod or any of these different bits and pieces. But actually with this, if you're somewhere on this pathway, I know what you're going to need before you do. So we see stuff here that actually customers start buying all their big ticket items here. So you've got your pushchairs, you've got your car seats, the nursery sets, maternity bags, feeding, sterilising, all that stuff. But before that, I've got a big pattern here saying, actually, at 2 months pregnant, there is a significant spike of customers that start buying maternity wear. So when I look at that customer might be worth 20 quid buying a maternity bra, but they've got all of their lifetime value ahead of them. That's an incredibly powerful thing if we can find those customers and actually help them as well, because the other big thing here is you've never bought any of this stuff before and it's your first child, and it's just a terrifying experience. You need to make, I don't know, 20, 30 big decisions. So actually buying a TV, I bought a bed on the weekend, and it literally took me all day. I spent all day on the computer trying to find the right bed, and it was a nightmare. And you, as a parent, you've got to do this with pushchairs, car seats, all of these things, and you absolutely don't want to get it wrong for your first child. So there's a lot of opportunity here, and you're going to need all these products. And there's even stuff before that. Actually, you do your research here, and there's people, how do I conceive? So actually, if we can find people at these different life stages and then help them with the thing that they need next, we can actually help those customers kind of buy stuff through us. So that was great. We looked at this. I mean, it's a very linear product path. You know exactly what you're going to need before you do. This is brilliant. So very simple product path. But when we look at the customer journey, it's actually very complex. Instead, how the customers choose to buy those products. So at the time, one of the first things I did when I joined is spent a couple of months understanding the business, and then we drew out this customer journey, this conceptual model. And it started with Kate and Will having a baby for the first time, and that still stands true today. So even though they've had another child, actually it's your first child is the one that we can really make an impact on, because you have all the questions, all the anxiety, none of the answers, and none of the products as well, crucially for us. So this is the bit we want to work on. So we actually put in 3 pillars of loyalty as part of this kind of CRM project we've done at Mothercare and ELC. So Kate, and it normally is Kate, researches everything everywhere. So Kate, you don't know anything, so you're going to sign up to us, you're going to sign up to Boots Parenting Club, Mamas and Papas, you're going to ask friends and family, you're going to go to antenatal classes, so you're actually trying to absorb so much information. And this actually becomes a problem a little bit later, because you've signed up for so much stuff, everyone starts sending you things all at the same time, and you've also got baby brain, so you kind of, you're up and down with the emotions and things, so it actually becomes very complex. How do we have this cut through? So what we wanted to do is put in 3 pillars of loyalty. So the first one is hopefully someone actually hears about us, and the first one's inspire me. So this is really about, if we know from that kind of squiggly line graph what you're going to need, we can actually help you make those decisions before without you having to do it all yourself. So for car seats, we can give you nice videos to explain what yReceipts is, to explain what the forward-facing, rear-facing are, things like that. We can actually give you this information to make your life easier. Which is great, and there's ideas, advice, and inspiration as well. So actually lots of lovely things that we can put in to help you decorate the nursery and all these things that it's going to look like. So that's what the life stage-based comms are. So actually if we know what your due date is or the date of birth, then we know exactly where you are on that life stage. So it means we can put really relevant triggered messaging in to help you with those things. The other thing I learned, the really interesting thing I learned when I joined the business, is that 80% of first-time mums-to-be will set foot in one of our stores at some point during their pregnancy, which is incredible. So compared to the Amazons, our store base is quite a big cost base actually, and that can sometimes make you uncompetitive. But as a specialist retailer, if you come in and speak to our experts in store, there's a really strong, powerful connection that we can have to the brand there by doing a better job for our customers. So this is great. If you're ready to buy, brilliant. But if you're not ready to buy, then actually there's a big research phase in pregnancy. From that last graph I showed you, there was that big spike where people buy maternity wear, and then there's a big dip for about 2 months where people in research mode wait for the second scan before they buy everything. So if you're going to buy, great. If you don't, I need a way to collect intent. I want you to scan stuff to your wish list. I want you to be saving things until that time comes where you start buying everything. And that's equally true for Early Learning Centre as well, in that there's 2 times a year really you shop with us, which is Christmas, great, know when Christmas is, and there's birthdays. So if I'm sending you stuff for the rest of the year, I want you to be saving things for when those occasions come. So this really is about collecting intent. So that's what the next pillar is about. So the first one is inspire me. I want to show you stuff, give you ideas. The next one is involve me. So actually, if you're not ready to buy right now, I want you to save it. And if you are ready to buy, then I want to know about it as well, because I need that on a database so I can actually do stuff with it. I don't want to be sending you offers for things that you've already bought. And that's just as true as buying stuff in store as it is online. So the final stuff, actually, the more we know about you, the more we can kind of tailor those lists and talk to you about the things that you've told me you're interested about, whether it's recommendations on site or the events that you've set up. And then the final one is interact with me. So on the left-hand side, you didn't know anything. You're actually absorbing lots and lots of information. And then this bit is really about you explaining or you talking about your experiences as a parent. So the first bit is over here. You don't know about pushchairs. You've kind of asked loads of people what pushchair should I get. You go in store, you pick it up and you feel the weight and stuff and you choose one. And now I want you to leave a review, because then when you leave a review, it helps the next Kate who's coming along to actually work out whether that pushchair is any good. Because we can say a pushchair is good because with Mothercare we would. If 100 other customers say that pushchair is good, I've got much more confidence to buy that product as well. So that's the first bit. And then the other bit that we can really start to play into as a brand, and a really lovely thing about working for Mothercare, is we don't actually have to come up with like really clever marketing campaigns. If we want customers to engage with us and interact with us, we actually just say, what have you done with your children today? Because you go through so many wonderful firsts and things. So at 6 months, we know there's a big spike in data for home safety. People start buying baby gates, people start buying the things that stop the little ones slamming their fingers in the door. But actually the wonderful things about to start happening is your child's about to take their first steps. So again, there's a massive power in this, and actually just getting people to talk about the reason that they bought those products with us as well. So we put this model together, and that actually gives us a really clear path. And when we look at it, it's all over the place. It's word of mouth, it's going in store, it's online, it's saving stuff up for later, it's buying. And actually there's referrals in here as well. So the interact with me, I don't buy all of the products for myself. My parents might help because it's the first grandchild, they're going to get the pushchair for me. They're not choosing the pushchair themselves, I'm choosing the pushchair and I'm telling them which one I want to get. So there's word of mouth in that as well as the reviews and stuff. So this is great. This gives us a really clear thing of where we need to kind of operate to kind of connect with our customers. But the problem with that is, so we've got a great idea now. So this is what we want to do with CRM. This is how we want to talk to our customers. And then the other thing I learned around about the same time was what our customer visibility looked like. So how many customers can I actually talk to with this great customer journey that helps us hold on to customers all the way through to Early Learning Centre. And for me to get one opted-in email address, it took this many transactions 3 years ago. Shit. So this was our problem. When you look at all of the transactions we do, all the touch points across the business, in store and online, it took that many transactions for me to get one opted-in email address. So this is a problem. Our opportunity is that actually we have 200 stores and 5,000 staff doing hundreds of thousands of transactions a week, of which I was getting no data. So this gives us, like, this is my big gap of where I'm going to talk to customers. So 2 years ago, last week, we put yReceipts into our stores. We actually put it into one store on half the tills for 6 weeks as a trial, and then 6 weeks later, we actually had it on every store, in every till in every store in the UK as well. So now we've got 5,000 cashiers talking to customers every day. And that's an opportunity to get data. And actually, instead of, as a retailer in turnaround, we couldn't afford to do points. We couldn't, and actually it doesn't work for us because we have such a short life cycle. We're not like Tesco's where you spend £150 a week. So for us, actually having a receipt and being able to return stuff and exchange stuff if that pushchair breaks 2 years down the line or the top's the wrong size is a really good customer service thing that opens up data for us as well. The thing that really the stores really hooks into is that if your store can give me 500 new email addresses a week, in 3 years you would fill the Olympic Stadium with your local customers. So when we have new ranges, new products, have sale or events in store, if I can talk to that many customers for you, that makes a massive difference. And we have 200 stores doing this all the time. So that's a really powerful thing that we're trying to get a poster up in every staff room in the UK. The other thing that we're doing is once we've got a customer base to actually get through these journeys, that's great, but I actually want to help our customers do stuff in store. I want to open up digital in store. So we've used yReceipts or yReceipts to actually get our store customers digital. Now I want to use digital in store. So we have a great app that allows you to scan things. You can scan the barcodes and you can read reviews and you can save stuff to your wish list. You can share stuff. But we weren't getting loads of traction, so the app's great, but I want to use it more in store. So what we actually did a couple of months ago was we actually integrated yReceipts, or yReceipts is a trademark, I'm not allowed to say that, am I? But we integrated our digital receipts, with our app. Which means you can collect all of your receipts in one place, which means that, well, this is great, this is a utility thing, and then it opens up all of the other great features that the app already had. So this really starts to bring digital into store, and also we use it to solve another couple of problems we had at the same time as well. So we can actually, normally you give your email address at till, and the store, and we use postcodes and stuff to kind of make it more quicker and more accurate next time, but we still have, if you type that email address wrong by one letter, it's not going to the right place. Whereas actually if you use the phone, you've typed the email address in yourself, so actually it means it's more accurate at till, and it's a bit quicker as well. So this is still quite early doors. John Lewis, by the way, said they did this first with Kitchen Drawer, and they didn't. We actually did this first. We did this a month before John Lewis. I'm just going to put that out there on public record. And it means you can actually return stuff just from your phone. You don't need the paper receipt. You can send gift receipts from here as well. So actually we've made more utility that actually opens up the digital stuff in store at the same time. So this is good. We've now got more customers, and we're actually starting to get them to use the phone. But as I mentioned before, we're a specialist retailer and we have lots of stores. So the thing that sets us apart from everyone else is what we do with that. And actually, our people are the bit that really makes a difference. If you come in and you've never bought a pushchair before because you haven't, it's your first child, and you don't, and we've got 1,000 pushchairs online, how do I do that? If you come into a store and say, okay, how big is your car boot? Do you go on the bus? What's your price range? Do you go for walks in the country? And they'll actually lay out 5 pushchairs for you and show you all the accessories and fold it up. That's the thing that really, because that's the bit that sets us apart from the Amazons, the Boots, even the John Lewises of this world. So through that, because we've now got this, yReceipts has changed our composition of the database. It's actually full of customers from stores now. So when we do things, say like personal shopping, which we put in, we've actually got lots of customers that have already been to store. So it's much easier to get store customers back to store than get a web customer into store for the first time. So personal shopping, that's great. That lets our customers, when they're ready to do the big shop, give them the confidence to shop with us. And it also allows us to do much more things in store as well, more community events. So we have expectant parent evenings, and we actually we make 5 times the revenue now from our expectant parent evenings than we used to before we put digital receipts in, because you can reach more customers. We can actually get them booking through to stores more. The other thing we've learned is actually it's not just about pregnancy. You know, when you give birth, your whole world can change. Actually, the visits stop after a couple of weeks, and then everyone's back at work, and it can be quite lonely. And again, your world changes. Actually, getting here today, if you imagine your journey on the tube and steps and stuff, trying to do that with a child and a pushchair is completely different. So it can be quite lonely. And actually, we have thousands of customers customers that give birth on our database every week, and we know where they've been because of digital receipts. So what we did is we started doing things like new mums meetups, and we invited them to store for a coffee just to meet other mums. And it's a really nice, and this is really such a strong brand thing that we can do that no one else can do now. And actually people come and they bring the dads and they bring the children, and actually they get to meet other mums. So actually having a local database means we can do more stuff like this, and also all the way into Early Learning Centre as well. We can actually do reading events as well, so we can actually sell out lots of different things all the way through parenting, which completely changes the way as being a shop really to being much more of a brand again, which is really important. I read a book a few years ago called Here Comes Everybody by Clay Shirky, which is all about social revolution. It's quite old now, but there's a great quote in there that says, we've lived in a world where little things are done for love and big things for money. Now we have Wikipedia, suddenly big things are done for love. And this was really about, if you think about encyclopedias and how people, a very small team with very broad knowledge, and they control all of the writing of that encyclopedia. Wikipedia is actually, one of the world's biggest online resources, and it's been created by lots and lots of people who care very deeply about a very narrow subject matter. And that's actually what we want to do with Mothercare, is actually I don't want to have a big viral and a big brand campaign that just goes out to millions of people. What I want is lots of conversations, lots of tiny conversations to a very small group of people that matter. And this is one of these examples. So actually, at one of our Expectant Parent events, there's 3 such examples going on right here. So Leah Smith is saying to Katie McBoo, you should go along. I think you should go along to this. Karen is saying, are you interested, Elaine? So she wants to go, but she's not going to go by herself. And Nicola is saying, Mary Kate, I've just booked already. I'm going. You come with me. So actually, there's 3 conversations that actually aren't going to go viral, but in the very small group of people where it matters, that's where that stuff comes through. We also see on reviews, one of the things that yReceipts has allowed us to do is send out review emails to all of our store transactions as well that have taken a digital receipt. So it means we've, actually forget how many more receipts, I think we tripled or quintupled the number of reviews you get on the website as well. And we even see the conversations going on in here as well. So actually we get people asking an owner, because, and then people happily answer those questions because they remember what it was like when they were trying to choose that pushchair. So it means we can really bring up this interacting with this community stuff around new parents to be. And then the final thing is around personal shopping, is that we can build lovely emails, we can build great apps, even the stores can look nice and stuff. But if we can give you a personal shopping experience when you're pregnant, you didn't know anything, you're going to remember this for years. You're not going to remember my emails until next week. But actually, if we can do something like this, then when you're pregnant, your friends get pregnant, you'll say, I tell you what, just go to Mothercare, go and have a personal shopping session. They were absolutely brilliant. And actually, that really is all been fueled by us being able to have much more local customers to talk to. And really, that is where the yReceipts has been a huge help to us as well. Thank you very much.